Let's get to the love then, shall we?
Yes.
Survivor. We just talked about it in the last vidcast.
Yeah, we did.
We talked about the fact that strategists have a difficult time winning. They have Redemption Island coming up.
Yeah.
What does Survivor need to change for 2011 so that we don't end up with the suckfest that was Survivor Nicaragua?
Oh, where do we begin?
How about we begin with the casting?
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Begin.
I have to begin now.
Yeah, you could begin. You can
I thought
actually
it was supposed to be
You
tell.
already lost the bet.
Darn. I love that I'm using a pen to tell her
Yeah,
the
get
camera. Anyway, puns are good. Enough with the bleeping recruits. I mean, it's obscene, okay?
I mean, tell me you don't have thousands upon thousands of people who have been begging, trying, years after years, decades at this point, to get on this show.
Especially when we just got through a season where 2 of those recruits quit.
Mm-hmm.
As happy
Thank
as...
you for changing that rule, though.
Yes. As happy as I was that Fabio won, because he was a lovable guy. He was.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
I mean, I still would have
I
voted
don't like nice guys winning.
Well, then...
I vote for assholes.
Well, I mean, I like nice guys winning because I'm a nice guy, but I'll become an asshole to win if I have to. As much as I like Judd's character, I still would have voted for Sash Roy on the jury.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we basically devoted, 2 minutes in the reunion show to looking at his modeling work, that shows he was a recruit. Holly basically admitted to the catalyst for her destroying Dan's shoes was him bragging about being a recruit, even though she herself was a recruit because her son works for a CBS station.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Jimmy Johnson is closer to a true applicant than half of the rest of the cast, we have a freaking problem here, okay? I mean, we had this whole YouTube contest where Jimmy Tarantino got on the show, which we'll be making our videos for that, and you better vote for us or you die.
Wow.
Yes, we will reach into the camera and find ways. But even then, out of the 10 people that were the finalists in that contest, he was the one that had actually never seen the show. He applied at his, I believe, wife or sister's encouragement. He had never actually seen the show. So the closest one to a recruit is the one that gets voted in by us and then picked by the producers.
You know what? Here's your second piece, folks. Do some of the strategists a favor and give us a cast full of people who, at minimum, understand logic. It seems like about half the cast on any given season is just there for a vacation, an adventure, and they don't understand the numbers game. If we could just get a cast of 16 to 20 people who actually understand that, oh crap, if there's 7 people and there's 4 people on that side and I'm in the 3, I need to make a move and maybe I should sell my vote. That's the math of Survivor, folks. You don't want to be equal, you don't want to be less than. You need to be in the greater than at all times, lest your name be Pascal.
Not hard to figure out, folks.
Really, really sad. So Survivor, just give us that. Give us people with brains! Brains like zombies, we need brains! If we get that, then we might have some fun these next couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, it was kind of fun to have more characters the last few seasons,
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is the core fan base has been there since 2000, since Borneo, and we love strategy. We love the game. We don't care how hot they are. And if you think Brenda was the hottest you could do, you kind of messed up on that one.
Speaking of hotness, Big Brother. Big Brother's coming back for another summer of sensational sinning. And Julie Chen, the Chenbot, will be back at the helm. What does Big Brother need to change in 2011?
Among other things, can we get rid of the slop?
The slop, absolutely. I've been sitting back watching the good old DVD box set of Big Brother 3, and frankly, just watching them suffer over the fact of having to eat PB&J was enough. We don't need to do that. We don't need to be saying, hey, you're gonna get, I don't know, cucumbers and coleslaw. I mean, let's just sit there. No more slop. Don't worry about the food. Let the game take its course.
And part and parcel with Survivor, the casting needs to change as well.
Are you referring to Big Brother, or are you referring to Glee?
No, definitely not to Glee.
Okay, just making sure. Rachel Berry, you're liked, and
yeah. But I mean, like, whereas with Survivor, our main problem with casting is models, actors, recruits, what have you. with Big Brother, it's the fact that the twist that they pride themselves on is always wasted on a casting aspect. I mean, go back to season 3 since you've been watching it. What was the twist back then?
The veto.
The introduction of the veto.
The introduction of the veto totally changed the game. It applied every single week that they were in the house. And everyone had to completely revamp their strategy from when they first entered the house to, oh crap, what the hell is this little silver knot thing on a necklace that Jerry used to infamously save Marcellus that first week? And we all know where that went.
Imagine the bullet we could have dodged. But in every season since then, what has the twist been? It's been on the
X Factor.
It's been on the casting dynamic.
Twins and
the secret,
Saboteur.
the secret partners, the father-daughter exchange relation. Season 9. That's all I gotta say. Season 9, the perfect matches. I mean, when season 8, when season 10 came around, and literally the twist was there was no twist.
That was a twist.
It was like that altered the game because nobody knew what was going on. And then you go the next season and do, the high school cliques. Really? I mean, yes, it's the closest I ever got to being on the show because they would have made me Ronnie, but still.
Let's get down to it, folks. What you really need to do is give us a gameplay twist that will last through the entire season. Something a little more meaty than a saboteur.
Survivor almost got there with Redemption Island, except that it's not altering the game, it's just altering who will come into the game at the very end.
Right, and frankly, that person's probably screwed.
In essence, it's actually a twist that removes someone from the game but still makes them eligible for the prize, which is stupid.
People from the game. Amazing Race next season is going the All-Stars format.
Which is fine.
And one thing that some people have said on our Twitter and other locations that they really liked was that challenge that they had 2 seasons ago when you had to pull the license plate off the wall, and if you failed to get the right license plate, you were done at the starting line.
That was awesome.
I hate to see teams lose the opportunity to even get involved, but I do like making things competitive and serious right off the bat. What can the Amazing Race do in order to ensure that we have a competitive season? Yes, I understand you're a zombie and you're hungry, Bill.
No, seriously, we need some smart people. I mean, you bring up the license plate. The fact that anybody got cast for that show that was so stupid that they couldn't read a pun on a license plate. I mean, even in the final leg of this past season, where, fine, we got the history of Nat and Kat being the first all-female team to win. You're telling me that in the final leg, someone hands you a clue that says Sancho Panza, and all of them had to beg for Google.
What does that say about the state of the American educational system?
I mean, I've never read Don Quixote, but I still get the reference.
I saw the cartoon with Sancho Panda.
Exactly. Don Quixote.
Exactly.
It's like, I sang Man of La Mancha in high school. Come on, it's not that hard to figure this crap out.
So, obviously, the All-Star season has already been cashed. You can't do anything about that. But by the time we hit the fall, you hear us, producers. Give us some smart teams. I mean, the Amazing Race is pretty much lather, rinse, repeat. You know what you're getting into. There's going to be plane flights. Research the damn airlines. Know how to work your way around an airport. Know what you can do with taxis and cabbies. Know where you can find the internet. And then just run a clean race. That's all we can really ask.
I mean, we've had quote-unquote smart people before. I mean, the Season 1 winners were lawyers. Nat and Kat are doctors. Jonathan and Connor were Princeton grads, for God's sake. But their intelligence was clearly secondary to what was perceived to be their character traits, which I get that you want to do an entertaining program and that kind of, dramatic value does come first. At the same time, we've seen what happens when you value drama and quote-unquote entertainment value over the dynamics of the show and getting anything potentially accomplished.
What's wrong with Snooki?
She wants smush.
I like some Snooki. Snooki wants smush.
She wants some smush. But I'm saying, slippery slope here. This is where you're going if you don't.
I'm never giving him the whiteboard again, folks. We're going to take that away from him because this is just dangerous. Now that he's able to talk via 2 mediums, I don't think that the web is ready for that. Stop. Seriously, stop.
2 media. Okay, brains.
Shoot me now. Shoot me now. Instead, we got to wrap this up. Ow! I said shoot me, not hit me. Don't you understand the difference, Mr. Brains?
You leaned in.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about it. We have to make our way over to Dairy Queen and get ourselves some ice cream sundaes, but first, let's wrap it up by talking about The Biggest Loser.
Okay.
Okay? So, when we go to Dairy Queen and we pass the McDonald's and we have the opportunity to purchase 2 McDoubles, what does The Biggest Loser need to do? in order to help me lose some of that weight, because, you know, I might get a McChicken as well.
Give you a couple of double quarter pounders to induce vomiting.
Yes. Okay, so supersize me aside.
Yes.
We're going to be entering an era sans Jillian Michaels.
I know, it's kind of sad.
Can the show continue? And if there ever was a time to make a drastic change, it's now.
Yep.
Talk. Use your words. You can use your words, Billy.
I'm going to use my words as soon as I do this. I don't care what happens to the game. I don't care if you decide to have 20 bazillion strategists from 50 states, all weighing 700 pounds and wearing moo-moos. The first and foremost that needs to happen with this show, boom.
1 hour broadcast. We had such a teaser of it this season. We saw the weigh-ins just launch right through. Whoosh, whoosh, bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. It was fantastic. And all the fluff was gone, and it was enthralling entertainment.
It was the most dramatic episode because, 3 people gained weight?
Crazy.
I mean, how hard is this? And, I don't care about turkey meat substitutes, and I'm pretty sure Bob, being a vegan, feels really conflicted about having to advertise them.
Yeah, at least let him stick to the extra sugar-free gum ones. That's a little better.
Or the water filters, or the sandwiches. And come on, can we get a different sandwich besides Subway? I mean, how about some Quiznos?
I think Subway's paying quite nicely in order to maintain their sponsorship.
Just for the sake of irony, how about Blimpie? just for
bad.
Because they have healthy sandwiches.
So do that. Make sure that the Biggest Losers have to go and work out at, an ice cream factory. Or, you know what? Send them to Hershey Park. Can we do that? Send them to Hershey Park. That would make me very, very happy. The other thing, I think this is a significant concern, it's the line. You have the problems with the yellow line and the red line. They seem to jump around all willy-nilly, and frankly, the yellow line moving to the halfway point was fantastic because it helped turn the show into being more about weight loss than necessarily strategy, because anyone could fall below at any time. The only way you could really protect yourself is to be working at all times.
Yep.
I'd love to see that yellow line stay at the middle the entire season. Keep those challenges in there for you to be able to save yourself, and then let the chips fall where they may.
I got one more for Biggest Loser.
Okay.
Right up here.
I want a game, not a cry fest. Explain.
I get that being overweight is an emotional issue. Believe me, I suffer through it every day. It is a battle. It is a war. However, the fact that literally you can go through the casts of the last several seasons and find sob story after sob story after sob story, it's getting it to be a bit much. We had a casting call for Biggest Loser back in Boston a couple of months ago. I thought about going, even though I'm not heavy enough for the show.
Yeah, 260, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I need to be 360 or more. But, but even then, it's I wanted to go, but then I decided against it because after watching the show for as long as I have, I know that I could immediately go to that audition and literally walk down the line, and everybody without a dead relative or an abusive parent is already out of the running. I mean, guess what, people? I'm a fat guy. You know how I got fat? I ate too much. No one ran over my dog. My sister doesn't have cancer. My dad didn't hang himself. I just ate too much, and I need to get rid of the fat. How hard is that? Can we just have people that want to lose weight desperately? Medical issues can be emotional enough as it is. How about having that, exam with Dr. Huizenga and saying, hey, guess what? You're really freaking sick. You're a diabetic. You could die in 5 years if you don't get your shit together. So why do we need to hear about all these other people that just spend 20 minutes each episode making you cry?
I've got answers, folks. Thinking man.
I love Abby, I love Ada, but come on, enough.
Number one, Dr. H needs to go and examine some tongues, because for some reason, there's got to be a link between the fact that fat people have tongues that taste food better than other people, because food's tasty, and when food's really, really delicious, I just like to eat a lot of it, and fat people must have super tongues, because when it's that yummy, of course you're going to get really, really fat, really, really fast. But I will make the argument that the crying is really just a last-second attempt to lose a little bit more water weight.
You know what's really delicious?
Drywall. You want people to eat, paint, and die?
Yeah. That'll help you lose the weight really quick.
Lose weight very quickly if you do that. And on that note, folks, have a happy new year. If we don't see you before then guess what? We've never seen you ever before. Yeah. You've seen us courtesy of these vidcasts. The Reality Rant will roll on into 2011. Keep on downloading us on iTunes. So for Eric Pierce from GameShowNewsNet.com, alongside Bill Hammond from Reality News Online, this Reality Rant is... Looky there. He can spell.